SEAL Team 6 operator remembers his first kill. Let's get into it.
I can remember my first kill.
Let's talk about that.
I can't remember my first hit.
Do you want to talk about your first kill?
Sure. We were... remember the guy? He was wearing his white man jammies, and he had like black and white peppered hair. And at this particular compound, they were sleeping outside. Usually they're up on the roof. And in summer it was summertime, but they were in the courtyard or the like outside. So there's like these little bodies, and you can hear our recce guys, our snipers. You can hear their silenced 45s just taking dudes out, taking their little sentries out. And I'm like, okay, that's like cool sounding. And this is probably my I don't know 10th time out maybe. Never found myself in the right position. I'm like, and I was hungry. I was like, oh God. I think Dom got his first one. I'm like, God, I want to be you. And he like, you can just see the smile on his face. I'm like, give it to me, please. And so this dude and his wife were sleeping on the ground, and we're coming up, and it was enough to go white light. And I just see him reach over, and I can see the pistol grip, goes for it, and then I just dropped him. Just dropped him right there. Well, he was already down. Just shot him there as he lay. And I remember one thing that was so crazy about that is his wife right next to him did not make any peep, did not cry. She just looked over and just stayed there. She sat up. That was it. She had no emotion.
Are you kidding?
And I was like, that's weird, right? It's weird. It was very weird. It's like she knew his time was coming. She's just waiting for the night for us to hit him.
Do you think she was relieved?
Possibly. I mean, who knows? I mean, she could have been forced to be there. But she had, I mean, I would be led to believe that. If we have no emotion, I mean...
Seems so.
I hope my wife would cry or something.
Yeah.
But there was nothing, man. It was just... seemed very weird, and then we just like take on the targets, and then that feeling of putting those bullets into them was just like, I know crack is extremely addictive, extremely. I've never done it, but you hear the stories, right? Talk to some prior users or whatever. That feeling was like, I was like, I want my life to be this feeling. Like, I want to shoot as many bad guys as I possibly can. And that was my mission. Is like, bad guy, you're going down. Like, that was, I mean, that's what we're there for anyways.
So killing is addictive, is what he's saying.
Is to take it to him. And I loved it. I loved it. It was my oxygen. It was the blood that ran through my system.
Do you remember all of them?
No. At times I'll think about something or I'll see something and it'll make me think of one. But I can't. There's no way. I mean, there's dozens. I can't think of them all.
How many times was it just you engaging a bad guy versus...
Our whole team or something?
Yeah.
Dozens.
Dozens.
A lot, yeah. I mean, I never kept count. I tried to, and not much luck. I mean, a lot. I mean, probably 50-ish or something around there.
Okay.
Solo ones. I mean, not including assists or whatever it is.
Did that feeling ever start to change?
I wanted it more.
You wanted it more?
I wanted it more.
As time went on?
I wanted it more. Especially when you get into our later deployments and your buddies are passing, and it stirs something up, and you just want to take it to them. I mean, you want to take it to them, and just get their evil. Once you really learn what they do to women and children, to an American convoy, to other people, other contractors or whatever, we had, to paint a picture for you, what I mean is we had one op where I took a shot on a guy. He was reaching for his AK. He like had it in his hand. He was like about ready to swing it around. Dropped him. And I don't know why I felt this way, but I felt a little bit of remorse. Like I was like, man, why I just felt bad. It wasn't like it wasn't a justified shooting. It felt weird. It felt different than the other ones. It just felt weird. And so I was curious. So we get back from the op, and I go to the our intel shack, and I'm like, hey man, if you find anything on this dude, we do our pick up whatever they have at the target and exploit it. And I was like, hey, if you find anything, like please come get me. And a couple hours later, he's like, hey, follow me. So we go to his little computer, and one of the CDs we found, it's this guy that I just took out. He's got KBR contractors, truck drivers from like the Philippines, staked on the side of like this highway in Iraq. They're tied up with their hands behind their back and their feet wrapped around the post. And there's probably, I'd say somewhere between 3 and 5. And these guys, where this one dude was one of them, was doing ballistics on him. He would stab him, he would shoot him in different parts, not like shoot him in the head and like take him out, but like your leg, your side. Stab him here. And they were laughing and they were giggling. And I was like, how could you do that? And then I'm like, you're dealing with pure evil. That's how you do it. I mean, it's pure evil. And that was one of the times a thing kind of changed. I was like, you get no more remorse from me. You get nothing. I don't feel sorry for you at all. And I was like, after that, like, things upped it.
Yeah.
I was like, if there was a way to kill harder, I sure in heck was searching for it.
Did you see that early in your career?
What do you mean?
That specific incident?
It
was laptop.
Probably, man, I mean, they all kind of run together. I'd say probably third or fourth deployment.
Okay.
Over there.
How many deployments did you do?
Probably third. A total of 7.
Okay.
5 with Dev.
Were you always privileged to that kind of information? Seeing you hit a guy at a target, or the team takes somebody out, or you take somebody out, and the intel team does the SSC and the target. Do you guys always get to see the information and the what am I searching for?
Like what they find, pretty much all of it. Not all of it.
What these guys have been responsible for doing.
Some we do, but it's like Cliff Note version. Like a couple liners, hey, this is what they were doing. They just hit this convoy that killed 5 Americans. You'll hear about that, but not like the details. Like, we've been looking for this guy for X amount of years. Unless you really want to know, and you just go talk to them, and they'll tell you. You get the information.
Okay.
That guy I wanted to know about, and he showed me. Had I not probably asked him, I never would have known about that. I'm glad I did, but it changed something. It kind of calloused me. We hear the word calloused, right? Mm-hmm. And they'll tell you, oh, we're getting calloused. Like, yeah, you're right. We are, and there's a reason for it. And yeah, just heart of my heart, I looked at humanity a little bit differently.
Hey everybody, I'm Sean Ryan. Click here to
That's exactly why. Man, that's crazy. Like, imagine that. Like, that's the last thing you want to get done is like get caught by one of those kind of people, and they tie you down and torture you, bro. There's no way. Appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. I'm gone.